be honest with you here. Let's take a second. Let's sit back and just think about this for a second. Number one, this is by far one of the worst episodes of Smackdown of all time. But on top of that, I do not care about this episode in the slightest. So not only is this review going to be shorter, but on top of that, I am not even going to actually sit here and get the screen grabs for the garbage that we saw tonight. This will be a lower edited video, but I'm just going to be ranting about the trash that we just saw. Dr. Libations opens up the show talking about nothing because he has nothing to offer. Cody Rhodes is one of the worst WWE champions of all time. If you don't agree with that at this point, you're either biased, delusional, or you have no idea what's going on. And it's as simple as that. This has been a disaster. Paul Heyman interrupts him just like he did last week. And guess what the moral of the story of this segment was? Paul Heyman telling Cody Rhodes that Randy's going to turn on you. And that's not a prediction, that's a prophecy. That's a prophecy. That's a prophecy. That's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. Spoiler. I have a spoiler alert. I have a prophecy that I brought up a year ago. And that was that this company was going to tank in viewership. It was going to tank in quality, and things were going to get tremendously worse than they were last year. And that WWE would eventually die under the ruling of triple fraud. And now look, let's talk about my prophecy. Let's talk about my prediction that I gave inside of last year. You get what I mean? This company is atrocious. This SmackDown is dead. It's lifeless, and nothing is happening. And you think I'm going to sit here and break down these segments? Nothing happened. What am I breaking down here? Codarius Rodington, and Randall Orton came out to the ring and stood there like a bunch of jobbers and sat there as Paul Heyman told them, hey, well, you're going to turn on each other. Really? This is what we're doing at this point? You know, SmackDown had one of the lowest ratings in the history of SmackDown like a few weeks ago. I think it was like a 1.2 or a 1.1 million. And then you also factor in that Raw on Netflix had 2.3 million viewers in a 7-day period. Because remember, Netflix takes a 7-day period of the show's viewership, okay? So from September, it was a September 22nd episode of Raw, I believe. Whatever one was last week, the first week where Cody and Seth were talking about the Crown Jewel matchup, okay? That week's viewership in a 7-day period got 2.3 million, making it the lowest viewed Raw on Netflix of all time. Hundreds of millions of subscribers on Netflix, and you can't pull more than 2.3 million. I don't want to ever hear anything about this company ever again, man. Triple Fraud has ran it into the ground until I get better product. A better product that actually is good. I don't give a crap about what happens on these shows. And next weekend, by the way, your boy will be traveling. I will still have out my SmackDown review and my Crown Jewel review. But either way, regardless, expect another rant similar to this, because this is embarrassing. Expect me to always be honest with you guys. You have to understand that when this product sucks, when viewership is tanking, when the quality is going down, this is not a time to talk about, oh, well, I like this because it was a decent wrestling match. This promo with Cody had a decent line. He's the WWE champion, the alleged face of the company. And you're telling me that him and Seth Rollins and Codarius Rodington, the two world champions of your company, are in a segment on a Raw. They're advertised for a Raw episode, and it's your lowest viewed Raw of the year, and it's your lowest viewed Raw of this new partnership with Netflix. ESPN's calling WrestlePalooza a C at best, and that's being generous. In all seriousness, they knew it was probably a D or F tier show, but they had to call it a C because they're partnered with the company. That is embarrassing. There's no other way around this anymore. Romano Reigns is the last superstar in wrestling. I'll say it now, and I'm going to make that a key part of every single video from now on out. You will hear me say that. Roman Reigns is the last superstar in professional wrestling. It's as simple as that. I like MJF, and MJF is a star, but he is not a Roman Reigns level star. He has that potential. If he was in WWE, he may have hit that level, but in AEW, you're not reaching that, man. Even though AEW's product overall this year has probably been better than WWE's, if we're being honest about it, either way you look at it, MJF cannot reach the levels of Roman Reigns' star status because, number one, he hasn't been around as long, he doesn't have as big as gravitas, and he hasn't done as longevity of greatness as Roman Reigns has. And so because of that, and him being in a much lower viewed company like AEW, honestly, the viewership's going to get close real soon. AEW is pulling 600,000, WWE is about to be pulling barely 1 million. You know what I'm saying? They already are on SmackDown. So it's only going to get worse. But the fact is, Roman Reigns being the last superstar basically means that Codarius Rodington and Seth Rollins as your world champions, they can be advertised for the show $15 billion million weeks in a row, it does not matter. The viewership is going to decrease because they are not stars. They are not leaders. They are not needle movers. They are not heads of the company that you can actually trust to bring your company into a better and bigger and brighter era with more views. Roman Reigns, okay, he led WWE to, obviously to having a better time in the early 2020s, you know what I'm saying, up until like early 2024. They had a much better time than they did from like 2017 to 2019. It's not even close. And who was the spearhead of that? It was Roman Reigns. Guys like Roman Reigns and obviously people like Drew McIntyre, you get what I mean, and others like that. Rollins played a role as well, but obviously Roman Reigns is the head honcho of the whole entire thing. So it's not close, man. If Roman Reigns does not win a world title within the next, 5 months or so, or 4 months or whatever, this company's going to die. I'm sorry, this is life or death at this point. You cannot trust any of these other jobbers to play this role. They're all mid-carders or jobbers pretending to be main eventers. Seth Rollins is not a main event guy. I'm sorry, I like Seth Rollins, but we have to stop the nonsense, okay? Codarius Rodington is not a main eventer. He's Stardust, okay? It's as simple as that. When in the world did you have a scenario where Roman Reigns is advertised for your SmackDown and you are getting anything less than 2.2 or 2.3 million views on SmackDown? Heck, early last year with him and The Rock being there, they were averaging 2.4 to 2.5 consistently, even a 2.6 I think at one point they got. Just a year ago on Fox, they were averaging that on SmackDown viewership, and now you can barely get 1.2 million? What is the excuse for that? Oh, well, they changed the network. I don't care. Stop. Okay, stop the nonsense. Oh, well, they changed the network so the viewership decreases by 1.4 million because of a network change? But for some reason, SmackDown that was only broadcasted in the U.S. on Fox, you know what I'm saying? And it gets more views than Raw can globally in a 7-day period on Netflix. SmackDown does it in 2 hours last year in the first part of the year with Roman as champ and The Rock being there. Stop. It's over. Roman is the last guy. He's the last star. So it's as simple as that. Until they build a new one, I don't want to hear anything about Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I'm glad these numbers are coming out so we can see it for ourselves. They have one superstar, and its name is Roman Reigns. Anyone other than that is a mid-carder or a jobber pretending to be a main eventer, and it's as simple as that. We move on to the next segment after this garbage opening segment with Codarius Rodington and all the other jobbers with Randall and Heyman and all them. Carmelo Hayes comes out and gets skull-crushing finale by The Miz. After this takes place, D-Lister Black fights Samuel Zayn for the U.S. Championship. Okay, Samantha Zayn ends up beating D-Lister Black because of a Damian Priest interference, I believe, and that's basically that. Afterwards, Damian Priest beats up D-Lister, and they have a match set for next week that nobody cares about. We then get a contract signing, and this is one of the most infuriating things of all time. Tiffany Stratton, and I mean this with all due respect, because listen, I want to preface this before I say what I'm about to say. Tiffany Stratton, the actual person, Listen, this is not about her, okay? I'm sure that Tiffany Stratton, she obviously has the talent, you know what I'm saying, to potentially be a great wrestler someday, and I'm sure the person behind the character is an amazing person, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure she's a great person. However, the character of Tiffany Stratton in WWE context is absolute garbage. Unwatchable trash, corny, repetitive, boring, nonsensical, botching multiple moves, has not had one engaging or good story the whole year she's been WWE champion this long. This is a failure. The push has failed. All she does is say yada yada yada, I respect you, because that's all everything is about. I respect you. I love you. I need you. I appreciate you. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Let's put a song together at this point. We need to start making the C-Jax anthem. We're going to call it the Codarius anthem. You know what I'm saying? The Stardust anthem, bro. Libation anthem. We're just going to keep on loading up the anthems. Now, Tiffany Stratton goes out there and embarrasses herself on the mic because she has nothing to say. She has nothing to say. She goes out there and says, Stephanie Vaquer, I appreciate you. I respect you. And I have to say, I've been looking forward to getting my hands on you in this ring and, beating you eventually and facing off with you. But no matter where we go, France, England, wherever, it's always going to be Tiffy time. What is the difference between that promo and the 15 billion she's cut this year? It's the same promo. Yada, yada, yada. This thing runs on Tiffy time. Yada, yada, yada. It's always Tiffy time. Yada, yada, yada. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? It's time for you to lose your championship and get back to NXT until they figure out how to book you or you figure out how to do something better than whatever the heck this is. This is embarrassing. And it's as simple as that. I don't want to hear anything about anything, man. Stephanie Vaquer, I can't even remember what she says. I can't even remember because she has nothing to say. What did she say? She did say the words, I respect you, Tiffany. I don't care about respect. La Primera talking about some respect. I don't care about respect. We've heard enough about respect. And I love you. I care for you. I love you. I love you. What is this? Are you guys dating or are you wrestling? Are Cody and Seth Rollins friends and best buddies since high school? Yeah! Or are they going to fight for World Championship gold or Crown Jewel Championship gold? Are Stephanie and Tiffany Stratton just best friends since middle school? Yeah, guys! We've been together, man. We go back like car seats, bro. Tiffany and Stephanie, man, they just love each other. They care for each other. They respect each other. And now they're going to fight it out to see who the better woman is. Yeah! Really? This is done. Okay, it's done. We then get Julia and Kiana James come out talking about some. Kiana James, first of all, is a jobber. Okay, and so is Julia at this point. They come out talking about some. I elevated Julia to be the top champion on Smackdown, and I can do the same thing for you. I can do the same thing for you. I can do the same thing for you. I'm not even going to finish off this segment, man. Nobody cares. Tiffany Stratton beat someone up. Stephanie Vaquer beat someone up. You're going to have two faces versus two heels next week. You have Tiffany and Stephanie Vaquer are going to be teaming up to fight Kiana and Julia next week on SmackDown. Again, why are the people who are fighting each other going to be teaming up the night before? Thank you. We then get a tag match. Javon Evans. I like Javon Evans. All we need to talk about here is the fact that Javon Evans is on the show. The more he gets utilized and featured on SmackDown, I think it's better. But at the end of the day, he's extremely entertaining and he's got great talent. And I think he's like 20 years old or 21. So he's got many years left, hopefully. You know what I mean? So he can only grow from here. So I like seeing more of him on the show, and I thought that was awesome. We then get to the main event, which nobody cares about this, man. Nobody cares. Codarius Rodington and Randall Orton fight against Brunson Reed and Braun Breaker. The bottom line is Rollins comes out at the end. Cody stands tall after hitting Rollins, I think, after the match is over. I'm assuming that Cody and Randy won. I didn't watch it, so I don't care. So that's that. Cody stands tall. Rollins is running away. He's trying to question, can I really beat Cody Rhodes? And that's it. This product sucks. This SmackDown gets a negative 15 out of 10. Now, I'm going to give it a 0, right? Because it's not the worst SmackDown of all time, but it is one of the worst SmackDowns of all time. Not the worst, but one of the worst. So it gets a 0 out of 10. And quite frankly, I don't know what else to say about this. It absolutely was garbage. This is going to be, like I said, a more low edited review. This is probably going to be what it's going to be next weekend as well, because I'm, going to be, on the road, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this absolute monstrosity of a company and product that we got tonight. And as always, I love you guys. I care for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out in one love.